Hello dear viewers, my name is Dr. Mohmad Pandit, Assistant Professor at the English Department, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today in this video lecture, I will deliberate on effective goal setting. Here, I would like to deliberate on first what's goals, and then what's the different procedure of goal setting, and what are the different types of goals. But first of all, I would like to deliberate on what's goals. Hint here, goals are desired outcomes or achievements that individuals aim to reach with a certain time framework. They provide direction and motivation. Therefore, goals, they are desired outcomes or achievements. Outcomes which one desires, or achievements which one harbors or which one desires. And its aim is to reach within a certain time frame. They provide both direction and motivation. For example, when we talk about that these goals, they provide direction and motivation, they make us sure what we have to do, what procedures, methods we have to adopt in order to achieve these goals. It's not like, as poet says, what's this life if full of care, we have no time to stand and stare. Here, we have to manage time. We have to look in every aspect so that we can furnish our goals. Again, you need to understand it's the desired outcomes or achievements that an individual aim to reach within a certain framework or within a certain time frame. Here the time is definite. We need to set our goals to be furnished, that too within a certain time frame. And these goals, they provide direction and motivation. To make it more explicit, goals, their goal is the end towards which effort is directed. It's the end towards which effort is directed. That means this goal, it's the end product. And to achieve that end, we do different things, or we adopt different procedures and methods in order to achieve that end. Now, there's another way of saying the same thing, the result or the achievement towards which effort is directed. Again, it is something that's concerned with the achievements, that's concerned with the result. And here, we make every effort to make that achievement possible. Now, why it's so important? The first and the foremost thing is that these goals, they provide focus and purpose to our life. When we set goals, our life becomes purposeful. In fact, the goals give you a clear focus and purpose. That means we know what we have to do and in which time period we have to do it. That means it provides focus to our life. And the second important point is it provides motivation. The goals increase motivation by providing a sense of purpose. Again, they motivate us to take different endeavors or to take different pains in order to achieve that a particular thing. For that matter, it can be anything. Therefore, they increase the motivation by providing a sense of purpose. And the next one is the measurement. Goals allow you to measure progress and success. These goals, in fact, they act as a measurement tools. And they allow you to measure progress and success. And the most important one is the growth. They encourage personal and professional development. When you set the goals, in fact, it gives us the very setting of the goals, it gives us encouragement, it gives a purpose to your life. You always run in that very direction in order to attain those goals. That's why they encourage the personal and the professional development. Here we have them types of goals like short-term goals. And what's the short-term goals? It's the objectives to achieve in the near future. For example, weeks to months. Here, for example, we can say completing a project, improving a skill, or attending a workshop. This is the short-term goal. Here we have a short-term duration to finish that goal. Here, the objectives to achieve in the near future. And that too within a short period of time. As I told you, completing a project or attending a workshop, this is a short-term goal. And then we have the next one, that's the long-term goal. Here the objective is to achieve over a long period of time. It can be years. For example, earning a degree, advancing in a career, buying a house, these are the long-term goals. And the last one, last but not the least, in fact the most important one, that's the SMART goals. And here the framework for setting effective goals. The SMART goals, it's the framework for setting effective goals. And this SMART, it provides, it ensures clarity, feasibility, and accountability. Here we will see the SMART goals. In fact, the SMART goals, S stands for the specific. It means the goals should be clear and specific. That means here, our goals must be particular so that we can concentrate on them, so that we can take every hurdles to achieve those goals. That's why it must be particular. For example, we can say, instead of getting fit, use run 3 miles or 3 miles 3 times a week. Now here it's particular. Your goal is to become fit. But to become fit, it's not particular. It's not well defined. Your goals must be particular, it must be well defined, it must be specific. For example, instead of saying, I want to get fit or my goal is to get fit, it's better to say, I will run 3 miles 3 times a week. Now you have made your goal specific. And the second important point is M stands for measurable. Our goals must be measurable. That is, we should set goals in a way that we can measure it. For example, we can say, here, goals should include the criteria to measure progress. Examples can be track the number of miles run or the pounds lost. For example, when we say the measurable, we have set the goal that I have to run. For example, I have set a goal that I have to run 3 miles 3 times a week. And after that, I have to measure it. For example, I can see or I can measure how many pounds I have lost, or how many. I can say that how many miles I have run. That's very important. That's why we say it should be measurable. And the next one is the achievable. Achievable goals should be realistic and attainable. That means our goals must be realistic. It should not be something that's imaginary, or it should not be something which we could not achieve. It should be realistic. It should collide with the reality. It should not be far-fetched, or it should not be beyond this reality, or it should not be imaginary. For example, setting a goal to run 3 miles is achievable if you currently run 1 mile. If you are currently running 1 mile, then it's achievable to run 3 miles. That's why setting a goal to run 3 miles is achievable if you currently run 1 mile. Therefore, it should be realistic. It should collide with the reality. It should collide with the real life. It should not be something which might be fabulous or beyond this reality. And the next one, R stands for relevant. Goals should align with the broader objectives and personal values. That's why it should be relevant. It should be relevant. It should not be far-fetched. It should not be out of a reason. These goals, they should align, they should match with the broader objectives and personal values. For example, if health is the priority, running is irrelevant. Now my goal is to be very healthy. Now for this, running it's very much irrelevant. If you run, surely you will be healthy. Now here, that's why we say these goals, they must be relevant. They should not be out of place or like that. That's why, as I told you, that if health is the priority, running is irrelevant. It's related to our health. If you want to be healthy, you need to run. And the next one, the T. T stands for time bound. Goals should have a clear deadline. That means we should have a fixed time. For example, run 3 miles 3 times a week for the next 3 months. Therefore, we should draw a time frame. It is time bound. It should follow the time. Like here, as I told you, run 3 miles 3 times a week for the next 3 months. Here we should assign time, then we can fill those goals. And Here are the different examples of SMART goals. For the first one is the specific: complete a certification course in project management by December. It's the specific one. Measurable, for example, increase sales by 20% in the next quarter. It's a measurable, we can measure it. And the next one, achievable, like learn to cook 5 new recipes by the end of the month. It's something which we can achieve. That means it's realistic. And the next one is the relevant. Improve communication skills to enhance job performance. Again, it's relevant. And the time bound, the finish writing the novel, draft by the end of the year. Here we have set the time, and what's that time? That's the 1 year. That's very important. It should be time bound. It should follow the time. It should adhere to the time which one has allotted in order to achieve a goal. That's why it should be time bound. These are the different examples of SMART goals. And the next one is the goal setting process. That's very important. How we can set the goals, and what's the process of setting the goals. And the first and the foremost thing is identify your goals. That's very important. We need to identify our goals. Reflect on what you want to achieve in various areas of your life. It can be personal, professional, or academic. Therefore, one needs to be clear about the identity of these goals. Therefore, we need to identify the goals. First and foremost thing is we need to identify what are our goals in every respect. It can be in your personal life, it can be your professional life, or it can be your academic life. Therefore, first and foremost is identify your goals. And the next important point is write down your goals. That's very important. Document goals clearly and concisely to make them tangible. Write down your goals so that you will be very clear about your goals. There will be no ambiguity about your goals. You will be clear and what I have to achieve and in which period I have to achieve this. Therefore, it is better to write your goals. In this way, you can get the holistic idea of our goals. And that's why we say document goals clearly and concisely to make them tangible. When you write these goals, avoid ambiguity or ambiguous terms or ambiguous words or things so that you will not get confused. Here, you should be very clear about your goals. That's why we always supposed to write down these goals. And the next one is the create an action plan. Outline steps, resources, and support needed to achieve the goals. That's the most important thing. First of all, outline the steps. First of all, you need to draw, or you need to document, or you need to draft the different steps which you are going to adopt in order to achieve your goals. That's why we say outline the steps, resources, what resources you have at your disposal while trying to achieve a particular goal. And the next one is the support needed to achieve the goal, and what support you can take from anyone in order to achieve a particular goal. That's very important. That's why we say create an action plan. It should be well structured. It should be well calculated. That's why we often say create an action plan. And the next one is set deadline. You can't achieve a goal without setting a deadline. Deadline is very important because this deadline, it always reminds you that you have to complete or you have to achieve that goal within a set period of time. That's why establish time frame for each goal and its milestones. That's very important. And the next important point is review and adjust. Regularly assess progress and make necessary adjustment. That's very important review. In the process of this goal setting, one need to review continuously so that one can see the positive and the negative aspects. So one can see the plus points and the drawbacks, or one can see the strengths and the weaknesses. Here, that's why the review is important. And at the same time, with this review, one need to take adjustment. We need to take adjustment. If you see that, for example, if we find that we are weak in a certain aspect or in a certain domain, we can adjust it or we can work on that. And the next one is the overcoming obstacles. First and the foremost is identifying potential obstacle. For example, lack of time, resources, support, and personal doubt. Therefore, it's very important to identify your hurdles. If you want to achieve a goal, if you set a process for this goal setting, first and the foremost thing is identify the hurdle, identify the potential obstacle. Here, it can be lack of time, this obstacle, it can be resource, it can be support, or it can be a personal doubt. When you will identify it, then you can work on it, then you can try to improve it, mold it, or change it, or modify it. That's very important. And the next one is the strategies to overcome obstacle. What are the different strategies to overcome obstacle? And the problem solving. The first one is the problem solving. Develop solutions to address barriers. You can develop different solutions in order to address the barriers, in order to address the hurdles, in order to address the obstacles. And the next one, the most important one, that is the resilience. Stay motivated and adapt in the face of challenge. That's the most important thing. One need to be resilient, one need to be strong, one need to be motivated, and one need to adopt in the face of challenge. Therefore, one need to be very resilient. And the next important point is the seek support. Utilize mentors, colleagues, or resources for assistance. One should not feel shy for taking the support or talking to your colleagues or for that matter, for any assistance. You can take support, you can take assistance, you can utilize your mentors in order to overcome these hurdles so that you will be in a position to achieve a particular goal. And the next important point is the tracking progress. How we can track this progress. How important it is to track this progress. Progress monitoring. We have the different progress monitoring tools, use journals, apps, or spreadsheets to track your progress. You can utilize different tools in order to monitor your progress. That's very important. Constantly and continuously, we have to monitor our progress. Then we can be sure about what we have achieved to this point and what we are going to achieve in the future. It's only possible when you monitor your progress. That's very important. You have to monitor your progress. And the next one is the regular check-ins. So do regular reviews to evaluate progress and adjust plans as needs. You have to go through this regular check-ins so that you can review your progress, so that you can evaluate your progress, and thereafter you can adjust plans as per the need. That's why it's very important. And the next one is the celebrating milestones. One should celebrate these milestones. That means one should acknowledge these achievements. Celebrate reaching a milestone to maintain motivation. That's very important. After achieving a goal, we should not feel shy to celebrate. In fact, we should celebrate so that we can set a new goal, and we can set different norms and rules and procedures for that new goal. Therefore, one need to celebrate one's achievements. It was all about the setting goals. These are the further references for further readings. There are different books written by the different authors. You can take help of these books in order to take it, in order to understand it comprehensively. It was all about the setting goals. Hope you have understood this. We will meet in the next video with another topic. Till then, goodbye.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.